Well, of course, the next step is to actually set the cam timing. And with this new MED belt drive setup, it is very elegant. This is probably the simplest one I've ever had to do. Take a look at the amount of movement allowed here. I was trying to figure out, does it move on the hub? This gear is so nicely made, I couldn't really see where the movement was. So I took and marked a Sharpie a couple of places so I could see how much I moved. It turns out it's actually out here. The whole ring moves the cam. You can just grab a hold of it with these, you know, relatively finger tight. And there's enough motion. Take a look at my dial indicator here at the top of the camshaft. That's this amount of movement right there that allows you to go right over the center line. So a couple of passes here and you get a feel for exactly where the ramps begin to go up and down. Tighten that up after setting, of course, our center line number on the crank 104 degrees after top dead center. So you literally put the crank where you want to. Now on other gear setups, you got to switch keyways, you got to do all sorts of things. You got to pull all this stuff off every time you go to make an adjustment in general. Some of the veneer ones allow pretty good, but seldom do you get to just move this and see the needle move like that. Very elegant, very nice. And so we verify our numbers here. Thank you, Stephen, sending me the correct updated specification for our 310 scatter pattern cam. We can see we're looking at the center line here. It's about the only thing you can really set. Other things are nice to verify, certainly. But our intake center line 104, exhaust 108. Look at the numbers, the revised numbers here on the inlet side. 51 degrees open, 79 degrees close. Look what I got here verifying 51 and 78. Now that's taking into account 18 thousandths for the valve clearance, so it's a little sketchy to hit it within 1 degree. I consider that very good, and I've adjusted the timing. Here we go here, just a quick verification on the exhaust. See, it's interesting, the exhaust range before top dead center, so as you turn the engine through in the correct direction of rotation, the intake side after top dead center, usually they're pretty close. And in this case, 104 and 108. So let's see here. I get a pretty good feel for these things. Let's see if we can hit our number. We just have a little bit of assistance, a little bit of leverage here with a couple of flywheel bolts. Let's take a look and see if we can follow to the maximum number and see what number we hit on the crank. Now this race cam has a fair amount of dwell at the top. You do a street cam, it'll come to a point. It'll go over the top and you'll be able to tell the center line very easily. This one here, it's got pretty much 5 degrees where there's no perceptible movement on our needle here. So let's see what number we hit here, just turning it there by hand. Look at that, 108 degrees. 108 before top dead center, the center line for our exhaust valve.